Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of Librari-ANTICS, the podcast brought to you by the Fairhope Public Library. My name is Ashanti, and I'm here with our director,
Rob Gourlay.
And today we are going to be talking about all of our February updates. Thank you so much, Rob, for joining us for this super special episode. Starting off with what's been going on at Fairhope Public Library. Last month, we hosted our biggest fundraiser of the year, Chocolate and Champagne, and we are coming off award season where we took home 2 awards for Best of Baldwin.
Chocolate and Champagne is our largest annual fundraiser put on by the Friends of the Fairhope Library. The event included a silent auction and a live auction, all while keeping the drinks and treats flowing for our wonderful patrons and supporters. Thank you again to the Friends of FHPL, who in total raised over $30,000.
Wow, that is incredible. Over $30,000. That's amazing. I know being there in person, that was my first time at a live auction. So seeing how that goes and how fast people are able to talk was personally really cool. People get really passionate about this library. We truly have a really wonderful community, and we want to thank you for your support, especially those who showed your support by voting for us in the Best of Baldwin Awards, which our director got to attend.
Sure. At the beginning of February, myself, Casey Williams, and Michael Neely and Nan Denson of the Friends, all 4 of us went down for the event in Orange Beach, and it was so cool to see all the different community organizations and businesses represented in different categories.
That's awesome. I love how supportive this community is, especially like Baldwin County as a whole. We really uplift, I think, local businesses and organizations. So that's something really neat about being in this area. So along with that support we receive, FHPL is also really passionate about offering that support to a lot of other different groups in our community. Actually, next month, we're going to be hosting a screening in partnership with the League of Women Voters in Baldwin County of Sally's Ashes, which is a film that tells the story of a group of women who made it their mission to fight for the removal of a toxic ash pit that was actually threatening the waters of our very own Mobile Bay. So if you're interested in attending that, please check out the Fairhope Public Library website, which is going to give you all the information on that screening. So while this month has been big for FHPL, there is so much that is happening beyond these 4 walls. So we really want to get into what else February is big for, starting with Black History Month and highlighting Mardi Gras season. So 2026 actually marks 100 years since the institution of Black History Month, since it was started by Carter G. Woodson and actually began in 1926 as a week that was dedicated to the celebration of African American achievements thus far. So one author we want to highlight this month is James Haskins, who is an Alabama native. His decades-long career reflects a commitment to telling the stories of prominent African American figures for a younger audience, the kind that he didn't always have access to as a child. He was a recipient of the Coretta Scott King Award, a 5-time recipient of the Carter G. Woodson Award, and he was posthumously inducted into the Writers Hall of Fame in 2018. The stories that he wrote provided really important representation for what African American children could grow up to be, and they were significant in protecting the very real history of the figures that he talked about, such as Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Nat King Cole, and movements such as the Harlem Renaissance. His perspective was really vital in a changing society, and along with his career as a writer, he continued to teach at multiple institutions, actually playing a really significant part in establishing an African American Studies program at the University of Florida. Along with Black History Month, Alabama's rich history contains multitudes. The legacies of our scholars, artists, movements, and festivities continue to inspire this generation of readers. This month, we also want to highlight the unique history of Mardi Gras in Mobile, Alabama.
Mardi Gras, which translates to Fat Tuesday in French, is one of the most distinct aspects of life on the Gulf Coast, and it all started about a century before Alabama was formed and when Mobile was still a French colony. The celebration we see today is derived from a Catholic festival traditionally beginning 40 days before Easter and includes a final day of feast and merriment. The first American celebration occurred in 1831 with the Cowbellion Society, who spontaneously marched through the streets of Mobile carrying cowbells, rakes, and other farming instruments. The festivities bring thousands of visitors across Alabama who partake in the various parades sponsored by local mystic societies to catch candy, trinkets, moon pies, and maybe a TV. I did want to talk about what my favorite or first and earliest Mardi Gras memory was. I personally didn't grow up on the Gulf Coast or in Fairhope in Mobile, but my grandparents who lived in Bay Minette, I grew up visiting them in Baldwin County. And when I was a child, 6 years old, I remember visiting their homes, and I would find this massive collection of beads hanging off a doorknob and wondered what was that?
Yeah.
Why was that there? So I asked my grandparents, and they told me all about Mardi Gras. So that's my earliest memory of Mardi Gras.
Yeah, just kind of stumbling upon some beads and like, what's going on here? That's neat.
What about you? Did you have any early memories?
Yeah, I think my earliest memory of Mardi Gras, I can't think of like a specific one, but having grown up on the Gulf Coast, I just remember being younger, and it's like Mardi Gras was like a whole day. So if we were going to parades, which we attended a lot in Fairhope, which I really liked that, but I remember those Mobile parade days where it would be like, okay, everyone, we're getting up at 7 a.m., bring like a sandwich or something, bring a bottle of water if you want it, but we're gonna be at the parades, and people come and go. My family would usually like have a spot where we'd stay at, but I just really like that mingling, and when the parade happens, everyone rushes to the front and we're all squished together, and then parade's over, we go back to our little spot. But I just remember those days being so much fun.
That's great.
What an exciting month. And we didn't even mention Valentine's Day. So much happened in the month of February. 2026 is truly off to a really tremendous start, and we have to thank Rob, who, is our compass, our fearless leader. He's super supportive of everything that we do in this library, and he's always offering really great guidance, and yeah, we just really appreciate you, Rob. So thank you for joining us on this episode. Thank you to everybody watching. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
Sure. We have a couple exciting things happening right now at the library that I wanted to highlight. First, we did just install new recording equipment in the Giddens Auditorium, so we can record programs, stream them directly to YouTube, and that was made possible in part from funds given to the library from the Fairhope Rotary Club and also the Friends of the Fairhope Library. We also are getting ready to set up our local author area in the back of the library where the old teen space used to be. So we're giving the walls a new coat of paint and removing some of the shelving to allow for more space for comfortable seating, some individual and group study areas, as well as featuring a collection of work done by local authors. So that's something, we have a fair amount of titles already in the collection, but will continue to grow over time. Lastly, we did just begin a new service that's integrated into Libby, and it's called Craftsy, and it's a library of videos specifically for learning about crafting, painting, photography, all kind of creative work. So that's available to all of our patrons now, and you can get access for 1 week at a time, and then you can renew your access after that.
Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know that we had that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah, I know we have like plenty of crafting groups here that come together, so that's going to be a really awesome resource. Also the local authors thing. So lots of exciting stuff happening.
There is.
Definitely. You're gonna wanna watch us. You're gonna wanna keep up with what FHPL is getting up to in this next year. But thank you all for watching, and thank you, Rob.
Thank you.